Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the coin change 2 problem, which is from LeetCode day 7 of the June challenge. So let us now look at the problem statement. The problem here says that you are given coins of different denominations and a total amount of money. Write a function to compute the number of combinations that make up the amount. You may assume that you have infinite number of each kind of coin. So let us now look at an example in order to get a better understanding. So let us assume that you are given some coin denominations. In this case I will take denomination 1, 2 and 5, and we are required to find the amount given, which is 5, that is the number of possible combination of these coins by which we can reach to this amount 5. So our goal is to find the number of ways to form amount using the given coin denominations, and we need to assume that we have infinite coins of each denomination. Okay, so in this case, if you can see, we have 4 possible combinations in order to use these coins and reach to amount 5. So these combinations I have already written. Either you use all ones, or you use 3 ones and 1 2, or you use 2 2s and 1 1. Otherwise you can just use a single 5 coin. So these are the only 4 combinations. Now in this case, the ordering will not matter. These combinations are basically representing a set. So if you say that you will include 1 2 and 3 ones, and you also count it as one other combination, then this will not be true, because in this case you can see that this combination 2 is saying 3 ones and 1 2. So if you include this in a set where sequence will not matter, then 3 ones and 1 2 will be equals to 1 2 and 3 ones. So these are one and the same. Therefore you have 4 possible ways to form this amount using the given coin denominations, where each denomination has infinite instances. So I hope you got the problem statement now. Now what is the most intuitive approach to solve this problem? Well, this is a typical recursion type question. So first let us see how to solve it by using recursion. So let us assume that we are given the coin denominations 1, 2 and 5, and we are required to find the amount 5. Now we have 3 coins, so we will assume only this first row where we have coins 1, 2 and 5. Okay, and now since we have 3 coins, so what will we do? We are required to find amount is equals to 5 using these 3 coins. So if you make a recursive call, then you have 3 options at this first level. So you can either select this 1 or this 2 or this 5. So which option do you select? You will have to keep trying for each and every option, because this is a recursion type problem. So first let us assume that you took this 1. Now since you select this 1, so your amount to be found will now be decremented by this 1. So the new amount to be found will be equals to 4, 5 minus 1. And now since you have selected this 1, now you will make a recursive call using the same coins, and you will fall to this second level. And this second level of recursion call will now have again 3 options, and from these 3 options you can select any option. So let us assume that you again selected 1, and let us assume you keep selecting ones. Okay, so what will be the maximum number of these recursion calls? That is, what will be the maximum depth of recursion call? That will be equals to the amount to be found divided by the minimum denomination amount. Okay, so the maximum levels will be amount by least value coin. So in this case least value coin was 1. Therefore the maximum number of recursion call depth will be equals to 5 by 1, which will be 5. But then at any level you can also take some other path as well, and in this case at each level you are basically having 3 options. So 3 options at first level, 3 options at second level, and so on, 3 options at the last level. So in this example you will have a total combinations of 3 to the power 5. Okay, because you will be multiplying all these values. So the total time complexity will be number of coins, in this case the number of coins is 3, to the power maximum levels. So in this case the maximum level was 5 by 1. So in this case it was 5. So it is 3 to the power 5. Therefore you can see that this is having exponential time, and it will not be feasible to solve it by using recursion. But this recursion is having some properties. If you can see, if you start from this first level, and let us say at the first level you selected this 1, and after selecting this 1 at the second level you selected this 2. Okay, so now the new amount to be found at the third level will be equals to 5 minus 1 plus 2, which will be equals to 2, because you have already selected 1 and 2. Therefore you need to remove this from the total amount to be found. Now let us say in some other recursion call you selected this 2 in the first level, and then in the second level you selected this one. Okay, and then when you reach to this third level, you still have amount 2 to be found, and you have these 3 elements as your options. So you can see that if you start with some different denomination coins, or even if you start with the same denomination coin, but in between you make some different choices, and then you can again come back to the same level where you are required to find the same amount, then this is nothing but a repeating sub problem. Okay, so in this case you started with 1, you selected 1 and then 2, and then at the third level you were required to find amount equals to 2 having coins 1, 2 and 5. Now you took a different path. You first selected 2, then you selected 1, and then you again reached to the third level and you were required to find amount equals to 2 having the 3 denominations as 1, 2, 5. So this is nothing but the same sub problem of this entire problem, but then you followed different path. So this problem is having repeating sub problem, and you can see that if you can solve this sub problem of finding amount equals to 2 using 1, 2, 3 denominations, then you will be able to solve the higher subproblem and again the higher subproblem. Okay, so this is having an optimal substructure, because a larger problem can be divided into smaller subproblems, where if you solve the smaller subproblems, then that will lead to a solution for the higher subproblems. Okay, so this is having both the properties repeating subproblem and optimal substructure, and therefore we can apply dynamic programming for this problem. So before applying dynamic programming, we should look at a concept. So assume that we are required to find amount is equals to 5, and our current coin in our recursion call is having coin equals to 3. So we have taken this coin equals to 3. Now we have basically two options, whether we can include this coin or we can exclude this coin. Okay, so there are two other values as well. So let us say this is amount is equals to 2, and this means that in order to reach to this amount 2, we have two possible paths. Either you include this 3 or you don't include this 3. Okay, and this 3 is indicating that in order to reach to this amount 5, we have 3 possible paths, and these paths is without including this coin 3 strictly. Okay, so if you do not understand this, then don't worry, I will be showing this in the example as well. So if you can reach to this amount 2 with or without including coin 3 in two possible ways, and if you can reach to this amount 5 by not including any instance of coin 3 in 3 possible ways, then in how many possible ways can you reach to this amount 5 by using the current coin equals to 3? So if you do not include this coin 3, then you will have the same amount to be found, and the same amount to be found without using coin equals to 3. Okay, so if you do not use it, then you will go to this point, because you need to find the same amount, but you are not allowed to include this coin 3. Okay, so this is one point. And the other option is, if you include one instance of this coin 3, then your amount to be found will be equals to 5 minus 3, which will be equals to 2. So you will move to this amount 2, and you can reach to this amount 2 in two possible ways, and you can reach to this amount 5 in 3 possible ways. So in how many possible ways you can reach to this amount 5? It will be 2 plus 3, which will be equals to this 5. Okay, so this is one concept for applying this dynamic programming. So if you write it in the form of a formula, then it will look like dp at CA, which is nothing but this C is indicating the row number. And in the dp problem, I will be using the coins in the rows and amount in the column. So this is indicating we are having C number of coins. Okay, C number of coins starting from the beginning. And this A is indicating that we are required to find this amount A using this C number of coins. So what are the two options? We can either include the current coin or we can exclude it. So if you include this current coin, then you will remain in the same row, because you are having infinite number of instances of the same coin. So you will be using that same coin again. So you will be in the same row. You will just move to the left hand side, and then your amount to be found will be decremented by the weight of that coin, which is Ci. Otherwise, if you exclude this coin altogether and you do not include any instance of this coin, then you will move up in the row, because you want to exclude this current row, which is indicating the current coin. So you want to exclude all the coin instances of this current coin, and you want to again find the same amount using one less coin. So you will have to move up by one row, and the amount to be found will still be the same. So you will have to add these two values in order to find all possible combinations for this CA. This is having the same concept as I explained it here. So let us look at an example in order to understand these concepts fully. In this example, I have taken coins is equals to 1 to 5 denominations and amount to be found is equals to 5. Now I will take the number of coins in the rows and the amount in the columns. You can take amount in rows and coins in column as well. It will not matter. So if you can see, if you have 0 number of coins, then you cannot form any amount other than 0. Because if you are required to form amount 0, then what will you do? You will have to exclude all the elements. And if you have no element, then also you can form this amount 0. Therefore, there will be one possible way always to form amount 0 by excluding all the elements. So the first row will be having all zeros except for this first column. Now all the elements in the first column will be 1 because you can always form amount 0 by excluding all the coins. So this is how we have filled first row and first column. Now let us fill all the other cells. So before starting, I would like to say that in these rows, I am writing in green color the coin denomination, and these 1, 2 and 3 are nothing but indices. So 1 is indicating the first coin, 2 is indicating first 2 coins, and 3 is indicating first 3 coins. Okay. So I have written the denominations like if you have just included the first coin, then you will have just 1. If you have included the second coin as well, then you will have 1 and 2. If you have included third coin as well, then you will have 1, 2 and 5. Okay. So this is how we will be solving it. So if we are in the first row, then we are just having coin with value equals to 1. And let us now find if we can find amount 1 by using this coin 1. So you can see that the first coin is having value 1. So there will be two options as I already explained you. You can either include this first coin or you can exclude this first coin. Okay. So if you include this first coin, then the amount to be found will be equals to the current amount which is 1 minus the coin value which is 1, which will be 0. So you will have to move back to the left hand side and see what is present at 1, 0. And why are we moving at the left hand side only in the same row? Because we have infinite denominations of this coin 1. That is why we are moving to the left hand side and not anywhere else. So you can see that it is already storing the result, that is you can find some 0 using the first coin in just one possible way, which is to exclude this coin. So by including this coin 1, you have one way to find some 1. Okay. Now if you exclude this coin 1, then what will happen? Then the amount to be found will still be the same, which is 1, but then you will have to exclude all the instances of this current coin. So if you exclude all the instances, then you will have to move up. Okay, so you are removing all the instances of this one. So this 0th row will indicate that if you have no coins and you want to find this amount equals to 1, then how many possible ways you can do? You can do in 0 possible ways. So if you exclude this, then you will not be able to find this amount 1. So it will have 0 possible ways. So the total number of ways will be 1 plus 0, which will be equals to 1. Okay. Now let us move on to the second point. So in the second point, we are required to find amount equals to 2 and we have only one denomination coin. So how do we find it? Actually, we want to find amount 2, and then what we can do? We can include the current instance of 1. So the amount to be found will be equals to 1. So we will have to move to this amount 1 value, which is this one. Okay. So you will have to move to this column and we will have to remain in the same row because we are using other denominations of this one as well. So we can form this amount 1 in one possible way, and if we exclude this one, then you will have to move up, and you can see that we can form this amount 2 in 0 possible ways if we do not have any instance of this coin 1. So adding these 2 will give you 1, and similarly for all these values, these all will be 1 1 1. Okay, so I hope you understood how did we fill this first row. Now let us move on to the second row. So for this second row, actually we will be starting again with this amount equals to 1, and now you can see that the second coin denomination is actually greater than the amount to be found. So whenever this happens, you can never include this current coin. So you have only one option, you have to exclude it. So if you exclude it, then you will go up and you will find the number of possible ways to form this amount 1 by not including any instance of the current coin 2. So there is only one way, so you will write here 1. Now we will move on to this amount 2. So when the total amount to be found is 2, then your current coin is also 2. So if you include it, then your value will come out to be 0. So you will move to the left hand side to column 0, because now if you included one instance of 2, then the next amount which is to be found is 0. So if you move to 0, you see that you have one possible way to find amount 0. So you will take one possible way by including one instance of 2, and if you exclude the instances of 2, then you will move up, saying that if you do not include any instance of 2, then in how many possible ways you can find this amount 2? So you can find it in one possible way. Therefore, you will add both the left and top values and it will be equals to 2. Okay. So similarly, if you can see this for 3, you will have to add this one with this one, it will be 2. For this 4, you will have to add this one with this 2 and it will be equals to 3. Now for this 5, you will have to add this one with this 2 and it will be equals to 3. So I hope you understood how we did it. Now let us fill the last row. So in the last row we will again be starting with this one. 1 is less than this value 5. So we will have to just copy this from the top because we cannot include this coin 5. Now we move to 2. So 2 is also less than 5. So we cannot include this coin 5. We will have to just exclude it and there is only one possible way. So we just exclude coin 5 and move to top and include these 2 ways. Similarly, we do this 2 ways, this 3 ways. Now we are at this 5. Now since we are at this 5, so we can either include this 5 or we can exclude this 5 because the amount to be found is greater than equals to this coin denomination. Therefore, we can include this denomination as well. So we have two options. So let us say we include this 5, then the amount to be found next will be equals to 0. So we will have to go back to this 0 and see in how many possible ways we can find this amount 0 when we have first 3 coins. So there is only one way. And if we exclude this 5, then we will be basically reaching the same amount. So we have to find amount 5 and we are not including any instance of this coin 5. So we will have to move up by one row and then we can see that there are 3 possible ways to find amount 5 when we are not including any instance of this coin 5. So we will have to add these 2 possibilities and this will be the total number of possible ways in which we can find amount 5 when we are including the first 3 coins. Okay, so this last cell value will give you the answer. So in this case I already showed you that the answer will come out to be 4. Now you can also solve this by using just a single row, because you can see that you just need 2 values. You need the previously calculated value as well as you need just the previous state value. So if you can just assign a single row and with the values like first will be 1 and rest all will be 0 and you keep iterating on all these values, then you can just use the previous state value by the current value itself and the previously calculated value of the same row by moving back. Okay, so this is the trick for just using a single row. So I will try to put both the codes for this 2-dimensional matrix as well as with the 1-dimensional matrix in the description section below. So what will be the time complexity? We have number of coins, number of rows. So it will be the number of coins multiplied by the number of columns is amount. So this is amount. This is the size of our matrix and this will be the time complexity, order of number of coins into amount. So let us now look at the code. So this is the code where we are given the amount to be found and our coins array. Now after getting this, I am finding the number of coins and then I am taking the DP table. This is the 2-dimensional matrix method. Now I am filling the first row and the first column as I have already explained you, and after that I am just filling the DP table. So the first loop will pick each coin one by one and the second loop will iterate for all the columns, which is nothing but the amount. So we are basically finding the number of ways for smaller amount and then using that to find the number of ways for a larger amount. Okay, so this is nothing but the optimal substructure property. Now what we are doing is, if j is greater than equals to coins at I-1, that means we can include the current coin. Otherwise, if we cannot include the current coin, then we have just one option, we have to exclude that coin. Okay, so if j, that is the j is nothing but the amount to be found. So if j is greater than equals to coins at I minus 1, which is nothing but the current coin. So if this is possible, then we will have two possible options. We can either include this current coin or we can exclude this current coin. Otherwise, if the current coin is larger than your given amount, then you can never include the current coin, and so you will have to just exclude the current coin. And after filling this entire dp table, you will have to return the last value, which is dp at n and amount. So this is the entire solution. I hope you understood this problem. If you have any other approach or solution in different languages, then please post below so that everyone can take benefit from it. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.